So why was Cubone a ground type as well as Marowak, even though they descend from like Kangaskhan's at some point? Well, the thing is, there's still two different species. What happens is, I think because Cubone and Marowak end up going grave digging, often more than Kangaskhan, obviously. The idea is that Cubone's skin eventually becomes so ground and immune to electricity. There's no ground, there's no conducting electricity with Cubone's body. So I believe that has a lot to do with it as well. It's kind of interesting because if you think about it, Kangaskhan is different than Cubone up until a certain point, and I just believe it's the field around it that turns it into the Pokemon that it is. Hence, that's why Kangaskhan and Cubone are two different species. It's kind of interesting how Kangaskhan is a normal type. I think it had a lot to do at the point because like a lot of the fighting type moves weren't really fighting type moves, they were just basic normal type moves. I think that's kind of why Kangaskhan stuck as a normal type. Maybe that, or they also had enough fighting type Pokemon, so they kind of wanted to do something different. Something like that. But I do think it's interesting though, you know. I'm surprised Kangaskhan's not fighting and a normal type. That'd be interesting, because then they could have got rid of the fighting type weaknesses for Kangaskhan, and it would have probably had better defense. Plus, it would have got the normal stab bonus, because it is literally a normal type. Interesting to think about. But Kangaskhan is definitely more of a grave digger, and that's why that Pokemon is immune to electricity, because, you know, while it's digging its way through the ground, I mean, Kangaskhan literally, or not Kangaskhan, but Cubone mostly lives in the ground, and so does Kangaskhan, you know, dark caves and whatnot. So you can kind of see where that idea comes from at some point.